Hey, little cubs, how's it going? Woohoo! Today we're going to do the life cycle of animals, 3.10c. Objective: I can investigate and compare how animals and plants undergo a series of orderly changes in their diverse life cycles, such as tomato plants, frogs, and ladybugs. Life cycle: sequential stages of growth and development that an organism goes through in its lifetime. Metamorphosis: the process of transformation from an immature form to an adult form in two or more distinct stages. Here's your thought question that you need to think about throughout the slides. In what ways are the life cycles of animals and plants alike and different? Think about it.
Okay, so the first stage of any life cycle for an animal is it starts off as an egg, whether it's a mammal or a creature that's not a mammal, so something that lays an egg or something that doesn't lay an egg. They all start with an egg, okay? The only difference is that mammals, like puppies or horses or humans, the mammal develops the egg inside the mother, okay? So it still has an egg, but it'll be inside the mom instead of like a bird that hatches the egg.
Yeah, you don't see it like a chicken.
Exactly.
So the mammal life cycle, okay, this is very basic. It starts out as a embryo, okay, or like you started out, you started out as just you know, a part of the life cycle in the very beginning, and then it goes from birth, then you're born, okay, in the hospital, or like in this case, horses that we're looking at this picture, in the barn. You know, you're born in a barn. You ever hear that saying, were you born in a barn? Okay, horses are, okay, cows, things like that. After birth, you become young, like you are now. You're young, you're learning how to do things, you're learning how to speak, walk, how to act, your manners, things like that. And then you finally become an adult. Okay, so the life cycle is it's very simplistic in as far as the terms are. But as you notice as you go along, you know, some things are hard to do, some things are easy to do. It just depends on your learning curve and how you learn things.
Okay, so the butterfly life cycle is next. You start off as an egg, okay, and then the egg turns into something called a larvae. After the larvae, it goes into the pupa stage, and it makes like this little cocoon thing. And then after that, it's a beautiful butterfly. So the stages again are egg, larvae, pupa, and then butterfly. This is something that you're gonna have to know on your quiz. So I really want you guys to either write this down or try to study it. Okay, this is something you're going to be graded on.
Remember, the larvae is kind of like the caterpillar, would be the caterpillar part. Just to give you an understanding.
Also, you learned this in second grade, so, or at least you should have. So this is something that is not new to you, okay?
Okay, and then we talked about the life cycle of the frog. Okay, again, it starts out as eggs, and if you've ever seen the life cycle of a frog, there are videos out there where they will show you the eggs that they actually lay their eggs in the pond, and you can see them floating on top. Okay, so you can see the actual egg at that point. and then they turn into tadpoles, okay, and then they turn into froglets, okay, which are basically baby frogs. They still have their tail, they're not fully grown yet, and then they turn into an adult frog. And basically what happens is that their legs become fully grown, they lose their tail, their bodies become fully formed at that point.
So in order for it to be on land and be able to survive on land, you have to have lungs and legs and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's the reason why they can live on land as that.
Right.
Okay? That's also going to be on your quiz. Okay, so make sure that you realize they need to have lungs to breathe and they have to have legs to climb on the land. Okay? This is specifically what metamorphosis is. Whenever they turn basically from a water breather to a land breather.
Metamorphosis is actually the change from not being able to breathe air to having the capacity to breathe air. So as a tadpole, they let you all know, or you should know, that they all live underwater. They can't come out to breathe or anything like that. Froglets have the adaptation, they haven't fully metamorphosized, so they have the ability to kind of do both. But as a froglet, they still don't have the lung capacity to breathe on their own on the outside of the pond. So they usually stay at the edge of the water, so that way they can go back and forth, so they can breathe more underwater than they do outside until they become adults.
I don't know what happened. Sorry. Let me go back to the thought question. There you go.
Your thought question again. In what ways are the life cycles of animals and plants alike, and how are they different?
Okay, so last week we talked about the plant life cycle. This week we're talking about the animal life cycle. Okay, so in the ways that they are alike is they both go through different changes. Okay, they start off as something very small and turn into something very large compared to the size of the seed or the egg. And then the difference would be in how, plants they're not able to physically get up and walk or crawl or anything like that. And animals can. With the life cycle specifically, animals have eggs, plants have seeds. Animals can go through metamorphosis, plants can't. Things like that. Can you think of anything else, Garcia?
No, other than they both need sunlight. Obviously, plants need more sunlight than animals do. But like Ms. Garza said, the metamorphosis is the big difference between animals and plants.
They both need water.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, they both need water. They both need sunlight, but like we said, plants need it a little more. Animals also, their lung capacity and things like that, their ability to breathe. Plants breathe as well, but they don't have lungs like animals do. They use their stems. That's why their stems are so important, because a lot of what plants get their nutrition and things like that are actually from the stems themselves, not the actual flower, if that makes sense.
Okay, guys, hopefully we gave you a lot of information to think about, and we helped you out with the quiz that you're going to have this week. We really miss you. Definitely call us if you need any questions.
Remember to zoom in.
Yeah, have fun. Zooms Tuesdays and Thursdays. We love seeing you guys. Love talking to you. Some of you that watch this, I'm glad that you guys are texting me and texting all of us and just, having a good time with it. We miss you guys.
Bye-bye. And we're out.